A warm greetings to all of you, dear student. I am your Mohan sir. I welcome you all of you to the academic year 2020-21. In this clip, we will learn about First World War, that is the first chapter from your history section. So, without wasting much time, let's begin. Let's have some introduction about First World War. You may have heard about wars, seen films about wars, and read about wars in the newspaper. In the olden days, when countries waged war, their armies confronted each other on the battlefield. Their warriors, mostly men, rode horses and fought each other with bows and arrows, sword, spears, lances, and other such weapons. The victorious army would loot the village, towns of the defeated country, carrying away and enslaving the women and children. So, in this paragraph, it is mentioned that, or we know that in our lifetime we have heard about what is war, and we might have watched many movies about wars, and also we have read in newspaper about wars. We know in olden days when two countries they used to fight war, the armies they were challenging each others in the battlefield, and the armies and warriors, mostly they were men, they used to ride horses and they fought each with others. And while they used to fight, they used bows and arrows, sword, spears, lances, and other such weapons. After that, the victorious army they would loot the village, towns, and defeated country. So the victorious country they looted the property, wealth of the country, carrying away and enslaving the men and their children. Thereafter, after looting the property, wealth from that defeated country, the winning country would take the men, women, and children as a slave. During the Mughal times, new weapons were used in battle, such as guns, cannons, and gunpowder. So, if you talk about the Mughal times, there they used new types of weapons. Those are guns, cannon, and gunpowder. But the way war was waged changed drastically after the Industrial Revolution in Europe. But when you talk about this war during the Industrial Revolution in Europe, the system of the war was changed. Cannons that could rain deadly bombs 20 kilometers away, atomic machine guns, submarines, and troops transported by vehicles and rail transport, the nature of war. If you talk about this European war or the war in the time of Industrial Revolution, they used cannons. Those were deadly bombs and that can be go 20 kilometers away. They also use atomic machine guns, submarines, troops, transport of vehicles, and rail transport for the nature of war. Not just that, where earlier two countries faced each other on the battlefield, the 20th century witnessed world war in which lakhs of civilian people were killed and countless were crippled. So if you talk about before 20th century or earlier time, whenever there was a fighting between two countries, the problem was faced by only two countries. But if you talk about this 21st century, so when there was a fight between two countries, seems like world war. Many of the countries were joined, lakhs of civilian people were killed and countless were crippled. So let us know some basic facts about First World War. Countries which fought the First World War. There are two groups were there. The first one were allies, second were central powers. So who were the allies? They were Russian Empire, France, Italy, Serbia, Portugal, Romania, Greece, Britain. Thereafter, US joined in the year of 1917. So these were the allies. Next, Central Powers. The Central Powers were German Empire, Austria-Hungary Empire, Bulgaria, Ottoman Empire. So these were the major countries those who took part in First World War. Next talk about when was the war waged, or what was the time duration of the First World War. It was begun on August 1914 and it was ended on November 1918. Why do you call it a world war? All European countries except a few like Switzerland fought in the First World War, with American joining in 1917. That means except Switzerland, almost all the European countries, they fought in the First World War. Later in the year of 1917, America also joined. But the impact was felt not just across these two continents, but across almost all the entire world. That means when there was World War, so in that World War, the impact not only felt only these two continents, rather it affect to the entire world. This was because the European countries deployed the people and resources of their colonies in all the continent on all battlefronts. How all the countries joined or took part in this First World War? Because we know that most of the European countries, they have colonies and they deployed the people and the resources of their colonies to fight in the battlefield or in the First World War. For example, lakhs of Indian soldiers fought in the British Army. So we know that Great Britain was also a country which took part in First World War. So when Britain took part in First World War, so they won a numbers of armies. That's why as India was the colony of Britain or British, they took thousands of soldiers to take part or to war against the enemy. Even they also taken natural resources for making the armaments or the war weapons, and they taken the wealth, money, etc. to feed and to care their soldiers. How did the First World War begin? Or what is the reason behind the First World War? A very minor incident led to the outbreak of the war. Austria-Hungary wanted to annex its small neighbor, Serbia. So reason is that a small incident or minor incident was the reason for the First World War. Austria-Hungary, it wanted to expand its territory. That means they wanted to include Serbia into their country. This angered the nationalistic Serbia people. So when Austria-Hungary wanted to annex and they wanted to merge Serbia into their continent, the people of Serbia, they got angered. They wanted to teach their bigger neighbor a lesson as warning. Because of that, Serbia wanted to teach Austria-Hungary a lesson as a warning. Suddenly, one highly patriotic Serbian citizen assassinated the Archduke of Austria and his wife at a place called Sarajevo in June 1914. So when Serbia wanted to teach a lesson to Austria-Hungary, suddenly a Serbian citizen, he killed the Archduke of Austria and his wife, the place called Sarajevo in June 1914. Austria launched an attack on Serbia to avenge the murder. So when this Archduke of Austria was killed with his wife, thereafter Austria launched an attack on Serbia to take the revenge. Russia came to the aid of Serbia, while Germany sided with Austria in the ensuing battle. So when Austria attacked Serbia. Suddenly, Russia came to help Serbia. And when Russia came to help Serbia, suddenly Germany came and sided with Austria. Thereafter, very soon, France, Britain, and other countries found themselves drawn into the war. Listen carefully. Austria-Hungary wanted to annex its small kingdom or the neighbor called Serbia, and that made the people of Serbia anger, and they wanted to teach a lesson to the people of Austria-Hungary. That's why one patriotic Serbian citizen, he killed the Archduke of Austria and his wife. When they were killed, Austria launched an attack on Serbia. When Austria launched an attack on Serbia, suddenly Russia came to help Serbia. When Russia came to help Serbia, Germany came to help Austria. In this way, the battle began, and very soon, France, Britain, and other countries they also drawn into the war, or they also joined into the war. Why did all this country get involved in the conflict? We need to consider many factors when we look for the root cause behind such a momentous episode in the world history. One causative factor was the changing economic requirement of these countries. One of the causative factors was the changing economic requirements of these countries. They were all industrializing rapidly, so there was an intense competition among them to become the most powerful industrial nation in the world. Among this country, they were doing competition to become the most powerful industrial nations in the world. As we read in the previous class, that is in class 10, 9th, the process of industrialization began in Britain, and by the close of 19th century, Germany was striving to become Britain's equal. We know that industrial revolution or industrialization began in Britain, and the close of the 19th century, Germany wanted to become equal with Britain. Seems like Austria, France, Italy, and Russia also making similar attempts. Industrialization required mineral resources, large markets, and colonies. For the industrialization, any country they needed mineral resources, large market, and colonies. So there was a fierce competition between countries to gain control of mineral-rich region in Europe and around the world. For the industrial development, they want mineral resource, large markets, and colonies, and that's why they were doing competition to gain control of the area where rich mineral resources are available in Europe and around the world. The older industrial countries like Britain had already established their control over many such regions. We know that first of all this industrial revolution or industrial development took place in Britain. So this older industrial country or nation Britain had already established their control over many such mineral rich regions. The newer industrializing countries wanted to capture this region from Britain and other weaker countries. So those country which is newly industrializing, they wanted to capture those regions from Britain and from other weaker countries. For example, Germany attacked France in the year of 1871 and captured the mineral-rich Alsace-Lorraine region. It also annexed Polish territory. In those days, Britain's industrial growth was helped to large extent by its growing naval power. So when you talk about Britain's industrial growth in those days, it has extended to a large part. How? Through growing naval power or navy power. The country ruled the seas, so it was able to expand its trade across the world and also exercise total control over the colonies. What happened? The country ruled the seas because it wanted to expand the trade across the world and also it wanted to exercise the control over its colony. Germany knew it have to first challenge Britain maritime dominance if it wished to industrialize and expand its trade. So now Germany thought that if it wanted to be equal with Britain, then Germany had to challenge Britain. Then only they can develop their industrialization and expand their trade. But the country had only one harbor in North Sea. That means Germany had only one harbor in North Sea. It needed to gain access to the Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea and Indian Ocean, ensuring free passage for its ships across the world. So, Germany need to gain access to Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea and Indian Ocean to ensure free passage for its ships across the world. But to do so, it would have to build up its naval fleet to be in position to confront Britain on the seas. And because of that, Germany has to build a strong naval who can oppose or who can confront the Britain on the seas. So the country focused on building its maritime strength even as it kept expanding its territorial boundaries and sphere of influence. To confront Britain and to develop their industrialization, Germany, they focused on building its maritime strength and they were expanding their territorial boundaries, sphere of influence. Now let's talk about causes of First World War. What were the major causes of First World War? From the above we have got a glimpse, but now let us discuss thoroughly the major causes of First World War. There were four major causes. The first one, militant nationalism. Second, armament race. Third, division of Europe into two hostile groups. Fourth, Sarajevo crisis. These were the four major causes of First World. Let's discuss the four causes one by one. So first of all, let us discuss about militant nationalism. Militant nationalism was caused by following points. The first one, aggressive nationalism. Aggressive nationalism in the sense loving one countries and hatred for others. That means people started loving their country and they started to hate other countries. That was one of the reason of this militant nationalism. Second, economic competition. England and France has colonies in Africa and Asia. So in those days, England and France, they were having colonies in Africa and Asia. Even Russia, Japan, Italy wanted to expand colonies to get raw material and market for finished product. Not only this England, France, but also Russia, Japan, Italy, they also wanted to expand their colonies to get raw material and market for the finished product. Acquisition of new colonies and expansion of economy ended with armed conflict. That means to occupy the new colonies and to expand the economic cause the war and conflict between the imperialistic nations. Next, international tension. That means atmosphere is filled with fear, apprehension, that means worry and hatred. Every country was trying to keep huge armies and navies. As there was a conflict that these imperialistic nations they wanted to expand their economic and they wanted to expand their colonies. Obviously, there would be war. So by imagining that one, they were afraid of each other's, and with that afraid, every country was trying to keep huge armies and navies for them, for the self-defense. Many military and naval officers were dominating the civilian authorities. In that time, many military and the naval, that means navy officers were dominating the civilian authorities. European countries were having outright wars to achieve their goals. So in that time, the European countries they were having war to achieve their goals or to expand their territories and to expand their economic. The second cause was that race for armaments, that or war weapons. The mad race for armament was a major reason which led to the First World War. That means people were totally mad to make or to manufacture the armaments, or we can say war weapons, which led for the First World War. Every country was stockpiling armaments in the name of self-defense and protecting peace. That means each and every country they were gathering armaments, war weapons in the name of self-defense and protecting peace. One country was forced to increase its armament if other country did that. If any country collect a huge number of armaments or manufactured war weapons, by looking that other countries also did the same. Germany built a powerful navy to protect her colonies to come apart with Britain. From the above paragraph I have told that Britain had the control over the seas and oceans. So to compete with Britain, Germany also built or prepared their naval power to do competition with Britain. But by 1914 left behind Britain and France in manufacturing iron and steel. But when we talk about 1914, Germany left behind Britain and France, and they manufacture more number of iron and steel in Germany. Imperator was the largest ships in the world. Germany also dug Kiel Canal deeper so that the battleships could enter its water. In that time, Germany also dug Kiel Canal deeper so that the battleship could enter its water. England and France were concerned with Germany's growing military strength. This led to fierce race of armaments. So when Germany is trying to do competition with Britain and making the or increasing or trying to expand the naval powers, also increasing the manufacturing of the armaments, war weapons. By seeing that, England and France were concerned, and that led fierce race of armament. Third cause of the First World War was division of Europe into two hostile groups. The third cause was that division of Europe into two hostile groups. There are two kinds of states in Europe in 20th century. During 20th century, there were two kinds of states in Europe. The first one, single nation states. First one, single nation states. Those were France, Holland and Germany. Second, imperial states. Second is imperial states. Austro-Hungarian Empire and Russian Empire. Germany entered it into alliance with Austria and Hungary, and Italy formed Triple Alliance. Germany entered into alliance with Austria and Hungary, and Italy formed Triple Alliance. That means this A plus B plus C, that means Triple Alliance. Those are Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy. These three countries are called Triple Alliance. Similarly, France, England and Russia form Triple Entente. As Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy form Triple Alliance, similarly or seems like that, France, England and Russia, they form Triple Entente. Later, Japan also joined into this Triple Entente. This x plus y, w plus x plus y plus z is, that means France, England, Russia and Japan. These are called Triple Entente. Thus, Europe was divided into two hostile. Complex international treaties. Tension was building up between European countries by the end of the 19th century, and the powerful countries felt that sooner or later war was inevitable. There was a tension between the European countries by the end of the 19th century, and the powerful countries felt that sooner or later war was inevitable. That means these European countries, they were expecting or they were getting tense that at the end of century there will be sooner or later war will took place. None of them were keen to light a war on their own. That means no country was willing to start the war by themselves, so they signed secret treaties with one another. So as they were not willing to light a war by themselves, so they signed secret treaties with one another. A primary condition of these treaties was that if any country was attacked, its treaty partner would come to its aid. So there was a condition in the treaties, that means if any country was attacked by the enemy, the treaty partner would come and help the country. The following treaties laid the ground for the outbreak of the First World. So let me do the recap of this paragraph. In the end of the 19th century, powerful countries, they felt tension that sooner or later there will be a war, and none of the countries were willing to start the war by themselves, so they signed secret treaties with one another, and the condition of the treaty was that if any of the country was attacked by the enemy, the treaty partner country would come and help them. So this treaties laid the ground for the outbreak of the First World War. Triple Alliance. This treaty between Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy came into force in 1882. This Triple Alliance, it was a treaty between Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy, and it was established in 1882. It stipulated that any of the three signatory countries was attacked by France or Russia, the other two countries would come to its aid in the ensuing war. That means if any of the country attacked either to Germany, Austria-Hungary or Italy, or if any of these three countries would be attacked by France or Russia, then other two countries would be coming and assisting or helping this country. For example, if Germany was attacked by France and Russia, then the treaties country or Triple Alliance, Austria and Hungary, will come and help to Germany in the war. Triple Entente. France and Russia were uneasy about Germany's growing might and belligerents and were also wary of the Triple Alliance. At the same time, Britain was worried about Germany's mounting naval strength. So the three countries entered into an agreement in the year of 1907. The condition being that if any one of them was attacked by an enemy country, the other two would come on to its assistance. That means France and Russia were thinking about Germany's growing mighty power. In same time, Britain also worried about Germany's navy strength or navy power. That's why France, Russia and Britain, they came to an agreement or they signed a treaty in 1907. According to this treaty and condition, it is says that if any of the three countries would be attacked by enemy, then the other two countries would come to help or to assist. Example, if France was attacked by any of the enemy, then Britain and Russia will come to help France. Or if Russia is attacked by any of the enemy, then France and Britain will come and help to Russia. Apart from these two treaties, that means Triple Alliance and Triple Entente, Germany also signed an agreement with Ottoman Empire in which Turkey promised to come to its aid if Russia attacked either Germany or Austria. So we know that Triple Alliance, there were three countries, Germany, Austria-Hungary and Serbia. So apart from that, Germany also signed a treaty with Ottoman, or presently it is called Turkey. And according to that treaty, Turkey promised that if Russia attacked either Germany or Austria, then Turkey would help or come to help these two countries. Similarly, Russia entered into an agreement with Serbia that stipulated that Russia would come to Serbia aid if it was attacked by Austria. Russia also signed a treaty or agreement with Serbia that if Austria would attack Serbia, then Russia would help Serbia. So from this paragraph we learn that there were two groups, Triple Alliance and Triple Entente. In Triple Alliance, we know that Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy were there. And in Triple Entente, France, Russia and Britain were there. Apart from those two treaties, Germany signed an agreement with Ottoman, that means presently called Turkey, that if Russia would attack to Germany or Austria, then Turkey will come to help Germany and Austria. And similarly, Russia entered into an agreement with Serbia that if Austria will attack to Serbia, then Russia will be helping or assisting to Serbia. This complex web of treaties that the countries wove to protect themselves divide Europe into two camps. Because of this complex web treaties, now this Europe divided into two camps. One alliance was led by Germany and other by Britain. Tension kept building up between the alliances. So now there was a tension between the alliances. That means Triple Alliance and Triple Entente. It was in the volatile situation that the Archduke of Austria and his wife were assassinated or killed. The reason is that the Archduke of Austria and his wife were killed by one patriotic Serbian citizen. The assassination provided Austria with an excuse to attack Serbia. So, because of this assassination of Archduke, Austria took advantage to attack Serbia. Russia entered the war to support Serbia while Germany came to aid the Austria. So when Austria attacked Serbia, Russia came to support Serbia. In same time, Germany came to support Austria. This is the complete details of triple alliance and triple entity. From this diagram, you can understand better about triple alliance and triple entity and how they, with whom they signed treaty, when they signed the treaty. This from this. And the last and fourth cause of First World War, Sarajevo crisis. This was the immediate cause, and only I have explained you about this. Archduke Francis Ferdinand, the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary, was assassinated at the Sarajevo capital of Bosnia on June 28, 1914. Only I have told you that Archduke of Austria-Hungary was killed by one of the patriotic Serbian on June 28, 1914. It was done by secret society called Black Hand. This was done by a secret society and the name is Black Hand, that means Union of Death, who wanted to unite all Serbians into a single Serbian state. The reason behind is that they wanted to unite all the Serbian into a single Serbian state. Austria served an ultimatum on Serbia on July 23, making 11 demands. Serbian accepted all aspect that of losing her sovereignty. Thereafter, after the assassination of Archduke of Austria-Hungary, Austria demand 11 things from Serbia. Serbia accepted all aspect that of losing her sovereignty. Austria declared war on Serbia on July 20, 1914. Thereafter, Austria declared a war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. Now let's talk about during war what happened. Britain, France, Russia and allies were called Allied power. Britain, France, Russia and allies were called Allied power. Germany, Austria and allies were called Central powers. Germany, Austria and allies were called as Central power. Next, war was fought in areas called fronts. The place or the war was fought in areas that was called fronts. There were two fronts were there, Western Front and Eastern Front. In Western Front, Germany was North France, and Eastern Front, Germany versus Russian force. Now let us talk about how USA entered into First World War. On the previous paragraph, I have told you that USA joined First World War later in 1917. How? In 1915, the German U-boats had sunk a British ship, Lusitania. In the year of 1915, one of the German boats hit and sunk a British ship called Lusitania. There, 1,153 passengers were killed, including the 123 America passengers, and the British ships which was sunk there, almost 1,153 British or Britain passengers were killed, including 123 America passengers. Americans were sympathetic to Britain as almost 1,153 passengers were killed. So America had sympathetic to Britain. Allied power had taken big loan from USA to pay the arms and good brought by them. Allied power, they had taken big loan from USA to pay the arms and good bought by them. Therefore, USA thought that if Germany would win, it would be a loss of USA and Germany would become serious rival to USA. Now, USA thought that if Germany will win, then it will be a loss for USA and Germany would become a serious rival to the USA. So, USA entered the war on the side on Allied powers. Because of that, USA entered into the First World War in the year of 1917 on the side of Allied powers. The rest of the part of this chapter we will discuss in part 2 of this video.